Okay, welcome to On the Mat, a new podcast out of 10th Planet Banbury. I'm Gavin Stewart, and this week we have a white belt, Liam Martin.
Thank you.
Nearly got your name wrong.
Right.
I'm good at that. That's one of the challenges as a coach.
Yeah,
all the
mate,
names.
I have to admit, it's impressive. Yeah.
And the idea of this podcast is that it's people in the jiu-jitsu community. There'll be all sorts of different titles, an open conversation where perhaps we can get different points of view across. Maybe there's things I've forgotten as a black belt, and there's things that Liam wants to ask me, and just getting to know each other a bit better. Okay, welcome to the first episode. So, what you got for me?
Hi, Gav. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you at the gym. Happy birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday. No.
30 again.
Yeah, and I was saying it's quite impressive that you do know so many people's names.
That's going to make
that must be one of the hardest parts, mate.
It is, but also I don't do it. So yeah. I'm terrible with names. The fact that I got your name right, I'm impressed myself, to be honest. Yeah, I'm like I must have ADHD or something. I've never been diagnosed, but a running joke that will make Chris, my business partner Chris, who runs the striking clinic, that will make him laugh so much because over the years he's seen me get so many people's names wrong with the kids' classes and the parents, and it's just too much for me to focus. Honestly, my brain is dates and names. Yeah. They're like
gone. But also, before I dove into like a tangent, because I did warn you, I'm profound, but I'm stupid. But I just feel like humans, we evolved to not be in groups of so many people.
You could be right.
Facebook and stuff like.
Yeah, it's like the world got smaller, but also diluted at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird time to be alive.
Oh, it's definitely. And that's why I never get offended if people don't remember my name personally.
No, I mean, I feel like Gavin it's not that common a name, is it?
No, it's not too common actually.
No, it might be gross. I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll see what. Hit in the comments. Is Gavin a bad name? It's Welsh. I know it's Welsh, but you can't. Be careful what you say.
Yeah, I got an Irish name, mate.
You got an Irish name? Liam.
But I'm South African.
Yeah, well, Stewart is Scottish. There's two Stewarts, STEW and STU. STU is French, and STEW is Scottish. But I'm not one of these people that like, oh, my name is Scottish. I'm Scottish. I'm brave. I don't get all like nationalist over.
No, I'm not at all, mate.
Like I've been Scotland
I want to
twice.
define myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not really a flag person, so.
So my first question is, I did write some questions down, so sorry if I come across as a little bit like a robot. Yeah, exactly. But something that obviously I think a lot of people join a jiu-jitsu gym. Not everyone, I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but sometimes you join it because you see the black belt, you see them as this badass, they're strong, they're confident, and that's what kind of the destination. Yeah. But for me, I've never had that sort of thinking. I've always been a process sort of person. So the question is for you, what was more important, the destination or the journey? And were you aware of that the whole way? I suppose that's the biggest question. I think it's going to come across on most of the episodes we do. Is why do you do it? Why do you do it? For me, I started out in a kickboxing, taekwondo sort of environment. Well, karate first of all. And the reason I joined, I had a friend called Joel Marriott, and he said to me, "Dude, I want to go to Laogar Kung Fu. Will you come with me?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm not a martial artist. It's not my thing. I'm not that interested. But because I'm a good friend, I'll go." So I went along. We went to a first session, and then we became black belts together in a different club, but we became black belts together. So, but that got me through the door. And then once I was there, it was then like, probably to your point, I see these dudes, I don't know what belt they would have been, but the equivalent to a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, doing all this stuff and like beating me up with ease. And I was like, I want that superpower to become mine. And that's what kept me going. I've always been a goal-orientated person. I don't know whether it's ADHD or whatever it is, but I've always been like, if there's a goal, so a belt system is useful to me. I do like a belt system. But the jiu-jitsu belt system is so long, 15 years for me. So, although there are goals and they are brilliant, they're so, like, once you get a blue belt, I was a blue belt for 6.5 years, something like that. So, like, that's a long, but it kept me in, to be fair. Yeah. But it's not the belts, and it's more this, like, I had so much respect for my coach, Mick, and I just thought to myself, God, if I can become half as good a grappler as he is, that's such a good thing to have. It's certainly not the confidence side of thing. I don't think anybody's as confident as they pretend to be. I see all these people running around acting confident, and just because you can talk in front of people and you're good in front of a crowd of people doesn't necessarily mean you're confident. You're just good in front of a crowd. And I think jiu-jitsu will give you confidence, no doubt about that, and it will help in all sorts of ways other than just a martial arts
system. It's so much more than just a martial arts system. I say that all the time. But for me, the thing that keeps me going and kept me going was this like, oh, I can have access to that level of control and ability to submit people. And I mean, let's also not forget, it's really fun.
It's fun.
And
right?
it gets better the more, like, you're 2.5 months deep. Trust me, like
I'm
in
sure.
a year when the new people come in, you're going to be like, oh, check this out. I'll teach. The thing that I love the most is when I watch. Sorry, talking too much.
That's right.
The thing I love the most is when I see my blue belts coaching the newbies, and I see the look in their eyes. It's good to see the newbies getting their head around it, but I see the fire in the blue belts' eyes as they're coaching. It's like I feel like everybody in this gym wants to become a coach. In fact, I'll stop talking in a second, but one of the nicest things in a while happened to me on Saturday. We coach a children's class called Little Vipers, which is for 4 to 7-year-olds. And one of the 5-year-olds, Amelia, she's like, her dad said, oh, tell Gavin what you said to me on the way down. And she was like, oh, Gavin, she's got this little teddy in her hand, she's a cute little girl, pigtails. She was like, guess what I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a jiu-jitsu coach. And I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. She's the same age as my daughter, so it was just oh, that's so sweet. So,
what does your daughter say? She said the same thing?
My daughter's like, I'll do whatever I want. My daughter's probably going to be the leader of a prison gang, to be honest.
Nice. Goals.
So yes, so the thing that kept me to answer the question is that watching the purples and the brown belts go to work, I was like, dude, I want to be that. I want that. And then you get closer to it and you realize it's not what you think it is, but it keeps you in the door,
I'm a big fan of that. I like to watch people grow.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this gym especially, you see people improve and get better, and it's that you look at the steely look in some people's eyes, and they're just so orientated on doing what they need to do. It's very inspiring. Yeah,
there's different ways of training, isn't it? You've got this like smashy approach, which we don't really have in this gym, if I'm really honest. Like, I'm focused, I'm switched on, boom, boom, let's go. In 10th Planet Banbury, most of the 10th Planets, to be fair, it's a lot more chilled, but you can still see the drive. It's a different style. We're all having fun. We're listening to music. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Everyone's respectful, I will say that. But it's fun at the same time. And I think that's quite important to me, like that steely look of like determination. Definitely drill with purpose, 100%, but also have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with it, I think you'll burn out, or you'll perhaps fall out of love, or something else will come along that perhaps grabs your focus a bit more. So I think a key detail, and one of the reasons for the 10th Planet Banbury's success, hopefully, is that we keep it fun and we keep it light while being really, really goal driven, which is quite a fine line to tread, to be fair.
And accommodating, because I've noticed you guys put a lot of emphasis on new people coming in. You always have time for everyone who comes in. Always welcoming, but that's difficult to have that drive. Competitive thing and bringing in new faces. It's kind of a balance.
I think that comes. There was a gym that me and Chris used to train at. I won't name names, but and we both used to talk back in the days when I was a white belt, new white belt, and we felt that they would focus only really on the competition team, and everybody else, you just got the scraps that were left. You might get a bit of help from somebody. You might get the coach might come over and glance at you and give you a little touch on the shoulder, but it wasn't coaching as such. The comp team got the coaching. Whereas at our gym, I like to think that my graded students, especially purple belts, will help the newbies come up. And then all of my students will get a separate class where I focus on them, or we focus on each other, and we're always working sort of. It's kind of a 24/7 thing. They'll message me all sorts of time. What do you think of this? What do you think of this flow? What do you think of this technique? Which I love. So, but what I don't want people to come through the door and think, oh, I'm just going to get ignored because I'm a newbie. Like, no, you won't. In fact, if anything, you'll get special attention because you won't just get it from me. You'll get it from all of my graded people. So, that's the way we did change the way we coached for a while, but then it felt a bit more. It felt like it was taking the fun out. We used to be like, rather than a group of two, rather than a pair training, we'd have a third, and the third would be somebody who was graded under me. And we felt like that's going to bring everybody up really quickly. And although it would, we felt that the people who, let's say, a couple of dudes come in to try it, their friends, they weren't having as much fun because they felt like they had a teacher with them watching over them. So we binned it off in the end. But that's the level of detail that goes into the thought of the coaching at this gym. Like, we don't just like, come on in, grab a partner, learn this, and then we all just go off and do, and the competition team does their own thing. No. We're thinking, what's the best way to make you a part of the competition team, rather than you got to earn your way in. How do we get you in? That kind of thing,
And as someone who's new here, I definitely see that and I feel that, and it is very
It's good to hear, man.
appreciative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult, especially if there's lots of people and stuff, and you come in, it's overwhelming. They're telling you about K-guards and all these new words.
I don't even understand the language.
Yeah,
never mind the technique.
Yeah. But when someone's got that like warm, especially with yourself. And you're great at people, nothing but respect for them. It's been super cool to me. But one thing I've noticed is with you have time for everyone, which you've just mentioned. But is this something you developed, or is this how you've always been?
I think it's how I've always been, to be honest. I don't know. It's hard to do this without blowing your own trumpet, isn't it?
I get it. But it's just, because I'm curious more on the jiu-jitsu side. Like, did jiu-jitsu help you, become easier with people, or have you always just been easy with people?
I've been quite good. I wouldn't consider myself an extrovert, really, but I've always been quite good with people, and I like to think that my thing is if I feel like I can help somebody, I will, and it's not just in a like a blowing smoke up my own ass kind of way. There really is more to life than money and stuff. And I really do think it's purpose. So, like, if you can help somebody, you should. But it's not like I'm on some crusade to do that. Yeah. It's just how it is. It's
genuine,
just,
man.
I like to think
see what
so.
you mean. I think similarly. Maybe I don't think I have as much patience for people as you do.
I don't know.
But going back a little bit, you're talking about like motivation and stuff. So, obviously, the one day I was rolling with another white belt, and he was, I was tapping him quite a bit, and I could see he was visibly, there we go, words are hard, frustrated, and he got up and he's like, I'm so frustrated. And I usually have a lot to say, but I had nothing for him. I had no words of wisdom. I didn't know what to say to him.
Wow. So you've been here 2.5 months.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not expecting you to sort of downgrade your own training to help the newbies. But, if people are getting frustrated, I would just say, focus on the core concepts of jiu-jitsu, space, like don't give me any space. Base, protect your base, and then I suppose what I tend to do in my rounds with the newbies and the white belts is I'll tap them with something or sweep them with something or do something, and then I'll come back and I'll say, right, this is how I did that, and this is the mistake you made to let me do it, because I'm a big fan of you learn by sort of let them hang themselves and then be like, right, you put your hand here, which you can't ever do. You put your weight here, you can't ever do. And like I manipulated you to think I was going this way and went this way. So, and try and, like I always say to people, if you can leave here with just one lesson, and let's say you train 3 times a week, by the end of the year, cool. You'll have a blue belt by the end of the year, right? If you took 3 lessons a week, core lessons for jiu-jitsu, you'll be a savage by the end of the year, you know? But what people do is they come in and they get so frustrated that they can't keep up with the purple belt. I mean, I still roll with new people that come in, usually bigger dudes, and then I tap them, and it's an 8-minute round, and whatever happens in that round, and then they slam the mat, and they're like, boom! And I'm like, dude, what did you think was going to happen? Yeah. Like, did you think you were going to come in and run it, like, just maul me around? Like, I know you're big, and even if you're not big, and I always
you need to be a podcast with one of those guys.
Yeah, but there will be. Like, what would it be? Black belt versus meatheads. But I try to. We used to be above a gym called EP Gym, and I love EP Gym. No disrespect to EP Gym at all, but some of their guys would come downstairs and be like, right, then who wants it? Like, get up. And I'd always be like, Carmel, fancy a round? And they'd be like, no, I want to go in. No, Carmel, fancy a round? Yeah. And she'd just, and then they'd just crawl back upstairs like nothing had happened. And I'm like, yeah, dude. But you never saw those dudes again. I think Eddie Bravo's right. He says jiu-jitsu is a douchebag filter. Yeah. Because if your ego's not in check and you come to these mats and you learn the lesson that you're going to learn pretty quickly, if you're not at peace with it, you won't come back. Some people see it and they're like, dude, I want that power, like we spoke about earlier. I want that. I want to be able to do that and know that it's there. That's where confidence comes from. Real confidence, not talking confidence, real confidence. You're okay. I don't need to tell you I'm okay because I know I am. What you think is irrelevant. I know what I think, right? That and some people see that and like, I need that, I want that. Other people are like, I've been exposed as not having it.
Yeah, my ego's been completely shattered.
Dude, I'm never going back there. Like, never going back there. There's a reason why I don't go to
their mind.
I'm not going to like modeling shows. I know this. I know this is.
You and me both.
That's your world.
You and me both. Yeah,
I'll stay. Bring the face mask back, bro.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, I completely agree with that ego thing. And sometimes I'm aware of my ego, but it's still there. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it gets in the way of me listening to what someone's saying because my ego's like talking to. I'm like, shut up! I don't believe you.
It's your friend though. Don't think you got to kill it get rid of it. You haven't. You've got to control it. Don't think for a second. We're all egotistical, and you should be egotistical. You wouldn't have come through the door to this gym if you weren't egotistical. You'd be like, I don't care if I'm a couch player.
Sit on the
whatever. If you had no ego, then there's no fight in you. There's no dog. There's no dog in the race. But don't let it control you. That's my advice to you. Some people will call me crazy for saying that. You look at Connor's ego and how that served him so well.
Yeah.
But I wonder, deep down, when he's looking in the mirror and he's trying to make weight and he's miserable because of all that, whether that ego is really ego or whether it's confidence in his ability because of the work he's done, which I think is, if you put the time in, we always say to our fighters, there's a checkbox, like a list of checkboxes in your mind, whether you know there is or isn't, there is. And if you can tick as many of those boxes going into your fight as you can, then leading up to walking down into the cage, you're going to feel better about yourself. So if you know you did your road time, tick, you got it. If you know your diet was on point, tick. If you know your weight cut went well, tick. Did you jiu-jitsu? Did you striking? Did you wrestling?
Confidence,
tick, 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 and then the confidence grows. Whereas if you're like, I should hit the road a bit more. I should have gone out on the piss last weekend. That's a cross. That's going to weigh on your mind. And it all, that's where real confidence, in my opinion, comes from. So
it's earned, not
given. I'm not a particularly confident dude in many aspects. You should see me in some social situations. If I'm not on point, I'm this dude. Yeah. But in this situation, I like this. This is where I live. Especially this system. This for me. Like, put me in a gi gym. I'm like, how'd you tie a belt?
No, I don't know how to tie this belt, man.
Dude, I could.
Just from my 6 months in a gi gym before.
Oh, you trained in the gi before?
Yeah, man.
Damn, I forgot that.
Covered, man.
Yeah. I got one somewhere. There's a gi somewhere. The last time I wore my gi, I went to a Mexican themed fancy dress party, so I went as Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
So I just bought a gi with some gi pants and wore I didn't wear a black belt. I was a purple belt at the time, so I didn't want to disrespect the belt system, so I wore a white belt rash guard because it's pretty close to the black belt one. But I shaved the beard and everything. Had the beard.
Really there?
Yeah, dude, it was cool, man.
Oh, that's
and
cool,
like
man.
people don't know at the party. People didn't know Eddie Bravo was or that he was Mexican. They're like, what are you dressed as? I'm like, Eddie Bravo, what? Yeah. It was a gym party, so mostly.
Oh, that's so funny, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, going back to, so earlier I was talking about the white belt, and you were saying, say what they were doing wrong, for example. Not that I don't know anything, but, you were saying, don't get space, don't give them space, control the arms, etc., etc.
Sounds like you know some stuff.
Yeah, well, just what you said 10 seconds ago. I've got a relatively okay memory. But so what would you say is the most important thing? Because I've been thinking about my journey in a relatively medium to long term. Yeah. And I was thinking, me personally, what I want to do is take in as much information as possible.
Yeah.
And
everybody does.
Yeah.
But don't do that. Take 2 bits of information.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, I was white belt. There was a thing called Submissions 101. Very dated now, and all I would do, I'd say to myself, every week I'm going to learn 2 things from Submissions 101, and it was all this cool Temple Planet stuff on there, and it'd be very dated now if you were to go back and find it. It's still on YouTube. But I remember saying to myself, I could learn 1 a day, and I'll do this. And I was like, no, learn 2 a week. I had 4 jiu-jitsu classes a week, so I was like, in those jiu-jitsu classes, I'll try the things I'm learning, see where they're going wrong, and then go back to it. I've never been a big fan of write it down, have your cue cards, and match up because I think jiu-jitsu eventually, once you get past purple belt, it should be more of a feeling. You should be able to feel your way through. It should kind of happen on its own, almost autopilot.
Flow state.
You're just kind of the vessel for it to happen on its own. It sounds all la-di-da, but it's not. It really, it's just reps. So I'd say don't rush it. In fact, less is more. The biggest bit of advice I could give to any newbie is just fucking relax. Just relax. You're not going to beat the good guys with squeeze and aggression. It won't work. I don't care who you are or how big you are. And even if you come in and go against one of my purple about 61 kilo guys and you're 110 kilo and you smash through, you're squeezing them and you're bad, you didn't win anything. You just controlled a smaller dude. When it comes to competition, anybody your size or 10 kilo under, they're going to smash you. You've got to get rid of that. One of the hardest things to coach the newer people when they come in is getting them to relax. It's the trouble I've had for years. I've got a couple of big guys, Patrick Thick, Joseph Crouch, these dudes who've come through, really big guys, and getting them just to relax and use the techniques rather than the strength that they've used their whole life. Their whole life, anything gets in their way, door gets in their way, they just smash through it. Whatever's in the way, I'll use my big size and strength. And then you reintroduce the strength and the drive afterwards, because they are big dudes. It is part of their game. But you reintroduce that afterwards, and then they're monsters. Both those dudes, both blue belts under me, both been training for years. honestly, they're brilliant grapplers now because we had to put it's like old military. You got to break them down to build them back up. But honestly, the most dangerous roles for me in the gym, the most dangerous roles are with the newer guys because they just arms and legs, cloud of dust with like a saucepan comes out, and
got
string
a
of
knife
sausages,
in their back pocket.
dusting them, okay. And it's just the biggest lesson is just relax, and it will stop you getting frustrated as well. Like, just dude, have fun with it, chill. Who cares? You get it's your trial week and you got dominated. Yeah, like whatever. Like sometimes even now, like when I roll with the blues and the whites, some of them, not all of them, some of them are killers. I like to give people like head starts. I'll be like, right, cool, you got 15 seconds, get to where you want to go, and I'll just let them do whatever they want to do, 10, 15 seconds, and then I'll start my round because I want to get some work out of it too.
Of course.
I could with most people. Not all, of course. I'm not bigging myself up, but I could with most, especially the white belts. I could get to dominant side control, hold you there 8 minutes, maybe get a quick sub, and then be like, "Cool, good round." What's the point? No one's getting better. They're not getting anything out of it. I'm not getting anything out of it. Okay. So yeah, just relax. Best lesson I can give you.
Without getting too wishy-washy, I think that comes back down to purpose you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Doing even the training with purpose.
Yeah. I think drill with purpose. That's Marvin Castell. Shout out to Marvin Castell. He said that to me. Everything you do, drill with purpose.
Yeah.
If you sneak in here Sunday morning before class, you'll see me with a grappling dummy. Music will be blasting, and I'll be like, everything I'm doing,
playing air drums.
Man. I will be. I'll just be having a good old vibe and just like. But everything I'm doing, I'm visualising. I got a combat jiu-jitsu match coming up. I've never done combat jiu-jitsu before. Yeah. I can't wait.
Exciting,
But whatever happens, I don't care what happens. I know for a fact I'm going to have fun, And just all my drills. Okay, drilling with purpose. How's he going to hit me? Good luck. Let's see what we got, But get yourself in there. Like mental drilling is as good. Not as good, but nearly as good as actual physical drilling, Keep yourself in there. But do everything you do. Anything you do in the whole world, not even jiu-jitsu, everything you do. If you're not doing it with purpose, don't do it.
Yeah.
Fucking bore off. Oh, I've got to go to work and do this because I said no, you haven't. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Go and do what you want to do. The mistake I made for years was that thinking. Have to get a trade. My generation, I don't know what it's like for you youngsters. But my generation was all, got to have a trade to fall back on. No, you don't. If somebody had said to me, dude, you're going to be a jiu-jitsu coach, focus on that, I'd be twice the grappler I am now. I spent half my time building up some career that I didn't want.
Mate. Same with me.
And I know you need money to live. I know that. But do what you love and the money will find its way to you. Like, trust me, you'll find a way. If you're driven and you do it with purpose, you'll find a fucking way. I'm telling you. And like the proof's in the pudding. I'm sat here doing it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, man. We said 10 minutes.
That was.
It's been about 25.
Yeah, exactly. That's
cool, man. Hey, look, it's a pleasure to coach you, man. Keep the journey. Nice, and this podcast was your idea, so thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
When we make millions, so sponsors come on in because I owe this man 20% royalties. All right. Thank you. Next episode, I think we're going to do boy versus girl. So
sounds spicy.
I'm going to get battered.
Excellent.
I don't know how.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get owned. So thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. And any thoughts, any comments, you want to have a go at me, feel free. Comment below. I'll try and respond. And yeah, cool. See you on the mats.
Peace.
Libra.
Nice one, Gav.